Nah, that's just passion. We love the game. You already know what it is. FYF. You don't got tough skin. You might as well not even come on in. Talk to 'em. FYF, blow the whistle, man, we too official. Better check the film, we not one of them. The greatest to ever ball above the rim. They wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Cut the small conversation, debate on major levels. This the playoffs, baby, bring that pressure, we never settle. Cross and spin, getting it in, I wanna win. That teamwork got us headed to the ship again. Oh, LeBron better than MJ? Cut it out. Half these fans in the stands don't know what they talking about. Half-court jumpers, crowd going wild. FYF ranked #1, you better say it loud. Intellectual talk, but fuck your feelings. Elijah 1 too overrated, Kobe still a realist. Top 10 all time, now how they cut the line. Magic Johnson, Draymond Green, one in the same kind. Fuck your feelings, fast break, stop and pull a J. He got how many rings, nothing else to say. With the team, live streaming, play by play. It's the dream, full steam on the road to 100K. FYF, blow the whistle, man, we too official. Better check the film, we not one of them. The greatest to ever ball above the rim. They wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Cut the small conversation, debate on major levels. This the playoffs, baby, bring that pressure, we never settle. Cross and spin, getting it in, I wanna win. That teamwork got us headed to the ship again. Started small, then turned into big dogs. They treat me like the GM, I just make the call. No matter who my op is, I'ma stand tall. Then pull up to the game, fresh like I just left the mall. 100K, 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 check the score. We gon' bust the shot clock, fans running to the floor. All I hear is go this and go that. Man, I love the game, I admit it, I can't quit it. Step in front of me, man, your ankles gon' get the business. Been a legend like Moses Malone, way ahead of my time. This the greatest sports show ever, I just had to remind. FYF, FYF, blow the whistle, man, we too official. Better check the film, we not one of them. The greatest to ever ball above the rim. They wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Cut the small conversation, debate on major levels. This the playoffs, baby, bring that pressure, we never settle. Cross and spin, getting it in, I wanna win. That teamwork got us headed to the ship again.
FYF Sports, man, Slamont, man, we back, man. Appreciate you guys pulling up today, man. Got a stream for you guys today. We're going to get back to our just game reactions, man, post-game reactions, man. I think today, man, when I watched both games today, I ain't going to lie, man, it was, you know, the quality of basketball that we are seeing from this new age of players that's coming in is crazy. You know, you would think, you know, one would believe that a playoffs without LeBron James, without Steph Curry and the Warriors, without Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and some of the stars, no Joel Embiid. I mean, literally some of the best stars of the game are up out of here. And, you know, a lot of people have been wondering what this league, what the NBA is potentially going to look like without a LeBron James. And we are starting to get a glimpse of what we could potentially start to see. The one thing I don't like is the lack of appreciation for what people are actually seeing. Because what ultimately ends up happening and what we see happening right now, and we're going to be reacting. We're going to be reacting to this game, this Denver Nugget game, and we're going to go to that Pacer game. I got some thoughts on both games. Salute to True the King. True the King. You see, we live over here. We live over here on FYF Sports Clips, man. We trying to run this channel up, get this channel monetized, right? So we're going to run this channel up over the next couple of weeks, man, and really pump out these lives. Make sure, look, if there's anything wrong with the audio or video, let me know in the chat, man, and we'll get it corrected. Because like I said, we're just now testing out these little vertical live functionings and things like that, man. So, again, appreciate everybody. I see everybody on Facebook is coming over to support. Make sure you come over. While you come over, hit the like and all of that as well. And True to King, I'm going to be in touch with you later tonight as soon as this live is over with, man. We're going to get that other app set up for what we working on. All right, show your support, man. Show your support. We're going to pin that to the chat. Show your support, man. Make sure you show your support, man. Donate. Remember, my original Cash App, $ FYF Sports, got hacked, man. We had to shut that one down, man. Get that one up out of here. My apologies for that. So until we get that new one set up, man, this is the temporary Cash App that we're going to be using, man. All right, salute to I see everybody from the website. Hey, if you're watching from the website feed, okay? I know it's YouTube. You're watching it from our website. And I can see your chat over here on Google, right? But we can't really see you over here on YouTube. And so the goal of us going live consistently over here on this channel, FYF Sports Clips, man, is because we need to run the numbers up over here. So when you guys get time, please make sure, come over here to FYF Sports Clips, man. Hit the like, comment a little bit. And you can go back over to Facebook or wherever else you watching, man. But like I said, we got to get to these games, man. These games is crazy. And like I said, the downside of watching all of these stars blossom, Anthony Edwards, right? Watching, Tyrese Halliburton battle Jalen Brunson. What's the downside to it? The negative that comes with this is right now, there's a narrative that's starting to get pushed. As these young players start to blossom, and I'm starting to hear it, I heard a little bit of it when I was over on Ticket TV. And when you go around the different platforms, people who struggle with talking about basketball in an appropriate manner, they don't understand what they're seeing. But the biggest thing that they fail to do is they don't know how to give credit where credit is due. Right now, the Denver Nuggets, the reigning champions, are struggling. They're struggling mightily against this Minnesota Timberwolves team. And the common theme around YouTube, the common theme that we're seeing around YouTube is that the Denver Nuggets are choking. Jokic is a fraud. Murray is a fraud. The reigning champs are frauds now. And then what I'm not hearing enough of is, I don't believe that the Nuggets are frauds or they're choking or anything like that. But I think what we're seeing one of the greatest defensive performances by a playoff team against the reigning champs. And we're seeing a superstar begin to blossom in front of our eyes in Anthony Edwards. He's literally turning into a superstar right in front of our eyes. But yet, because people want to push narratives and they rather go with the negative connotation, a lot of these young guys are going to get glossed over. The Jalen Brunsons, 4 40-point games in a row, electrifying to single-handedly. Who would have thought the Knicks would have been able to compete without Julius Randle? Who would have thought they'd been able to compete at this level without a Julius Randle? But they have been able to compete consistently, man. Night in and night out basis. You got Dante DiVincenzo. You got the Villanova trio. Josh Hart, with one of the biggest performances of his playoff career, coming through a game where they were backed up against the wall by the Indiana Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton, another young team. Questionable foul at the end on Miles Turner, but again, another great game that we're going to be talking about on both. But we're going to go ahead and get to this Denver Nugget game. When we talk about these games, y'all, when we really get to these games, we really got to start analyzing what went wrong. What went wrong for who and how. What went wrong for the Denver Nuggets tonight? This is a game where this was essentially a must-win game. Minnesota came in with Rudy Gobert. They bullied Jokic around all night. They consistently attacked Jokic. You would think that the Denver Nuggets would be able to come with another game plan. Now, what that game plan particularly was, I have no idea what that game plan could have potentially been, primarily because they lacked the bodies to really make any significant changes to their game plan. Right? Their game plan is heavily reliant on Murray being healthy. And we've seen what this team looks like in the playoffs when Murray is not healthy. So when everything is contingent on Murray being healthy and he's not healthy, what adjustments can they make? Right? Jokic is kind of out there by himself. Jokic really relies. You would have thought Michael Porter Jr. would have been the one to really step up. Aaron Gordon Jr., can he be the guy? Can you dump the ball into him and allow him to go to work? Or does Jokic, do these two guys, Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, so heavily rely on Jokic so much to get buckets that if Jokic can't function, they can neither function? And that was one of my biggest indictments that I talked about with this Nugget team versus the Lakers. The Lakers, very undisciplined defensively, consistently gave up a ton of things. Salute to DC Block over here. Hey, DC Block, man, look, we over here on our second channel, FYF Clips, man. Make sure you are also subscribed to our channel, FYF Sports Debates, man. But we're trying to grow this channel over here. We're trying to get this channel to at least 5,000 subs. Our main channel's at 100K. We're trying to run this channel up, get it monetized as well. So we're gonna stay on this channel. We're gonna consistently go live on this channel until we run the numbers up, till we get it monetized, and we get this channel activated as well. So we're going to be consistently doing these post-game shows where we're going to be running through the game film to kind of show you guys. I want you guys to see what I see. You see, a lot of people get mad, right? When we sit here and talk the game, a lot of people get mad because especially me, and I don't know how you guys see the game, right? And I hope that as I go through this film, you guys pick up something that you can run with, whether on the court or off the court, however you do it. But I have to see the film, and what I have to do is I cannot go against the film. Just like in the Lakers series, so many Laker fans out there so mad at me because the Laker fans are saying, "Oh, you blaming it on LeBron? You said LeBron did." Well, unfortunately, that's what the film showed me. I can't get away from the film. The film showed me a whole bunch of losing plays, bad decisions, right? Guys that wasn't willing to step up in the fourth quarter and be clutch. Guys that seem to be heavily relying on Darvin Ham drawing up some play to bail them out of tough situations, as opposed to being the superstar players that they were and getting the job done. And this is what we're seeing from this Minnesota Timberwolves team. In game one, what did we see late game? When the going got tough, when it looked like the Denver Nuggets were going to make their run, what happened? You know what happened? Ant said, "Give me the ball." Turn around, fade away in the corner. I'm just going to be an elite closer. And I'm not going to sit here and run around and mope and cry. No, I'm just going to get it done. And the Minnesota Timberwolves is a team that I've said, just as I said before, extremely connected. On the court, off the court, you see how connected they are defensively? And they have not allowed this chatter to rattle them. And it's sad. I think one of the most sad things, and Lint Liquor said, and you're right, the team is better without LeBron. It's not that they're necessarily better. We understand how, but what happens is they seem to be a better team, like cohesive unit. They seem to have more chemistry. They seem to be more cohesive when LeBron's not in the game. When they got that 20-point lead against the Denver Nuggets, who wasn't in the game? It wasn't LeBron James. When the Lakers had their biggest wins of this regular season, who wasn't in the game? When they beat the Celtics, when they beat the Bucks, they had their biggest wins. Who wasn't in the game? And when they did beat good teams and LeBron James was on the floor, they were barely eking out close wins. It's just something to think about. Man, salute to Hollywood Herm, man. Salute to Herm. Hey, Herm, we got to get back to the post-game show, man. We get in the post-game show. Let's go ahead and get to this film right here. We got the Denver Nuggets. And we got the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. Their coach, who's been sidelined, he had knee surgery. So the assistant coach is kind of stepping up on the side, doing his thing over there. We got to get to this film, man, because this was one of the most exciting games of the day, man. Let's go ahead and get through it. Hey, y'all, let me know if the game sound is too loud. Let me know, and I can turn it down a notch for you. And look how Edwards starts out the game. Edwards is starting out the game. These ain't plays. This is just somebody going out there setting the tone. Anthony Edwards getting into the middle, relentless. And what you got to appreciate about this, Minnesota Timberwolves team is they had a game plan tonight. And I want to see if you guys can pick up on that game plan. I want to see if you guys, as we go through this film, because I'm going to talk about it after this film is over with, I want to see if you guys can pick up on it. Lynn Liquor said, it sounds just fine. All right, salute. Appreciate that right there. All right, Denver really, really reliant on those DHOs and those pick and rolls. Minnesota did a good job of pushing them to the outside. And Edwards, man, just unbelievable. And I think that Minnesota took a page out the Lakers book with how to attack the Denver Nuggets. I think that's where they exposed themselves. I think the Lakers exposed the formula on how to consistently destroy this team. They just couldn't execute late game. They lack discipline, and they don't have any closers on this team. Great pass right there. Oh, yeah, I am supposed to be. I'm tripping. I got the wrong game plan, y'all. Let me get the right game up. What am I supposed to be doing? What am I doing? I got the whole wrong game plan. I'm looking at it like, man, I know the game didn't start off like that. Nuggets are slow. Salute to Dante. Salute to Tackable Pine. I see you in the chat. He says, are you breaking down game 2? Yeah, I'm about to swap the games right now, man. I had the whole wrong game plan, man. I'm about to get it pulled up right now. Y'all bear with me. Actually, yeah, let me just go ahead and get that right now. I'm tripping right there. That was on me, y'all. My bad. All right, let me see who we got in the chat while we waiting. He says, do you also got the Timberwolves winning it this year? I don't see the Celtics or the Knicks beating them. Well, I mean, at this stage right here, just after watching how Minnesota has dominated through the playoffs. I mean, they haven't lost a game. They're 6-0. They dominated the Phoenix Suns. This was a Phoenix Suns team that I actually picked to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. They dominate them. Then they go into this series versus Denver. Once they go into this series versus Denver, I forgot who I was talking to, but I said, I'm not about to keep playing around with Anthony Edwards. This man then swept Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. I thought the Suns were going to get one. He swept them up out of here. I'm not about to keep playing around with them. Once they start to show me who they are, I got to rock out with it. They are a defensive team, man. They are a defensive juggernaut. And I think it's just time we got to come to accept that right there. Right? And you got people running around saying defense don't win offense. No, defense wins championships. When the playoffs comes around and teams are slowing that pace down and they didn't game plan for you, it's over with, man. You better know how to defend. You see, the Denver Nuggets had that lackluster first round because they could play them undisciplined Lakers who got that super stagnant style of basketball. You know, but this ain't the Lakers. They move the ball. They play defense. They play unselfish. They don't care who scores. And they got a guy who's going to go out there and close when it's time to close. And he ain't shying away from the moment. I mean, if I'm lying, y'all let me know. But that's the facts. Salute Dante. He says, Tackable Pioneers. Dante says, remember when people hated when they got Rudy? And remember, and Dante, remember when I was the only one defending Rudy, defending this man? I was the only one. People kept calling him trash. And remember, if y'all remember when I was talking to the locker room, I don't even know if some of y'all heard this, but I said the biggest problem with basketball today is that people don't know how to analyze the game just based on a player's performance. They can only judge a player. If the player wins, they great. If they lose, they bad. And when Rudy Gobert was losing with the Utah Jazz, and they had that losing season with Minnesota last year, wasn't really a losing season, but it was a disappointing season. People didn't know how to judge Rudy Gobert, so they would just run around. Oh, he ain't that good of a defender. They keep losing. They didn't take into consideration that Naz Reid was hurt when the playoffs hit last year. They didn't take into consideration that Jaden McDaniels was hurt last year. They just, Rudy Gobert hurt. When Rudy Gobert was the only lifeline saving the Utah Jazz. It's bailing them out of all types of situations. Oh, he got dunked on. He not good. Oh, so now Rudy Gobert is a good player when you start seeing him win. No, see, and I think that's one of the biggest indictments, man, with this basketball community. They don't know what they watching. They don't know who good or who bad. If some of these players didn't have championships, they wouldn't even know how to explain their game. They wouldn't even know who's good from bad. Remember, before Jokic won a championship, before Giannis won a championship, the common theme was running around was that they disappointments, that they was chokers, that they couldn't get the job done. They didn't know how to analyze their games. All right, y'all, I'm pulling that game 2 up right now. My apologies for that. All right, I think I got it ready. There we go. Game 2. Game 2 on the docks, man. Salute to Grove Money in the chat. He says, creating that Edwards is beating the team by himself. We watching the Timberwolves whole team locking up and scoring, not just Edwards. That is facts, man. That is facts, man. And here we go right here, man. Start to this game, right, defensively. The way they're defending Jokic is they're not letting him play make. They are sending a ton of physicality his way. Right there, they're meeting him chest to chest. And look, even though Jokic scored right there, that's called setting the tone for how you are trying to defend. And Karl-Anthony Towns, man, is just like Anthony Edwards is freeing everybody else's game up. Remember, when you have that elite closer, that guy you know you can rely on when the going gets rough, it makes everybody else's job a lot easier. And so now Karl-Anthony Towns can play with that freedom, as you saw him play today. Monster game early, playing with reckless abandon, and he out there defending on both sides. And we got Anthony Edwards with the ball right here. And the common theme for this game right here, what's the number one thing that they were doing offensively? Because I think that's what's going to get glossed over. Aaron Gordon knocks down the 3 right there. Naz Reid was just on fire, man. Rudy Gobert with the birth of his son had to miss this game. A lot of people, especially in the fantasy basketball community, had this game chalked up for Jokic, man. Jokic was going to have a big one. They didn't let that happen. Man, Anthony Edwards is a monster. Man, Alexander Walker's playing great, beautiful basketball, too. One of those guys that kind of went over the radar. I didn't even know he was that type of defender, man. But, boy, he's out there defending his ass off. And they are not allowing Denver to get anything in the middle of the floor. They are really converging to the middle of the floor, protecting the middle. And what they're doing is they're utilizing their bigs. I feel like this coaching staff basically told Karl-Anthony Towns and Naz Reid, do what y'all do best. Do what y'all do best. He says, you guys can shoot the 3. Go out there and space this Denver team out. These are babies. And Karl-Anthony Towns, just like I said, knocks down a 3, 16-point lead, 36-20. This is where they just start having fun. Alexander Walker. Unselfish basketball, just moving the basketball. Look how they defend in the pick and roll. Smother, fight over. That's not an ice. But again, you got to make every bucket that Denver scored. They struggling. They fighting tooth and nail just to get to the rim. And Naz Reid knocks down another 3. Look at this defense right here. Porter Jr. fight over, show high, breakdown right there. But they're having a rough time running what they like to run. Physicality, send to it Jokic, make him do it all. Jokic looked like he was running a track meet. He looked tired. And then on offensive end, I mean, with the Minnesota Timberwolves consistently attacking this man on every single possession, man didn't have it in the tank to really give it to him on the other side of the floor. Look at this. Relentless on Jokic. Now we getting out in transition. Now we running. And I think Anthony Edwards feels like this Denver team is too old and too slow and they cannot catch up with the speed of this Timberwolves team. And when Anthony Edwards decides to turn it up a notch, there's nobody on this Denver team that can stay in front of him. We saw Aaron Gordon try. KCP can't guard him. Nobody on this team can guard him. He feels like they all babies. And right there, getting to the basket at will. And now we're starting, because remember, you guys, let me pause this real quick. See, this is what was happening. See, you watch this Denver Nugget team play a pathetically stupid defensive team in the Los Angeles Lakers led by LeBron James, who is extremely lazy on defense himself. Their best defender is not a vocal defender, which means he can't help the team defense. He can only bail you out or try to. And if he's not there to bail you out, you're getting barbecued. So they don't have a vocal defense. They have a stupid defense, and they have a lazy defense. Again, this is all with a defensive head coach. And it was making Denver look much better than they actually were. Now you're playing a team that's connected. Now you're playing a team that's going to get back every possession, and you ain't going to have nobody hanging back crying to the ref because they didn't get a foul call. You're going to have all 5 guys getting back in transition. Now Michael Porter Jr., them threes ain't looking so easy when you really got guys being physical with you before you come off them DHOs. Now he looking a little soft on the edges out there. I thought this man was about to break the 3-point record for the playoffs the way he was shooting against the Lakers. But see, I told everybody, when you connected as a team, when you got good leadership on that team, and this team is led by none other than Mike Conley Jr., it's clear that that's the leader on this team. Anthony Edwards has talked about it. Now we starting to see the results. Salute to Khalil Burton in here. Khalil says, Naz Reid is the key to keeping Joker from going off too athletic too fast. And you know what? These guys ain't worried about fouling out. Do you see how they defending Jokic? Jokic is not about to sit there and just knock them off. They are going right back at Jokic. And the one thing that they are seeing is that, okay, the refs is going to pull back. Jokic want to bang, they going to let us bang them back. We're going to see significant help his way. And what they're doing is they're doing something. Most teams play Jokic away from the middle. So that primary defender, what they'll try to do is they'll try to push him away from the middle. The Minnesota Timberwolves, as you guys can see on this video right above me, they are making him turn to the middle. And as soon as he makes that move to the middle, they are flocking to the ball, man, swarming the life out of him. And he can't do nothing. Swarm. Block. Can't do nothing in the middle. Off, and we off to the races, man. Next pass, because they don't want to defend. Jokic dead tired. Because he can't do nothing on the offensive end. Let me get this steal. Let me get those. This is how we end the half. Ant-Man, exclamation point. These boys is down 30 going into the half, man. Can't do nothing with them. Unselfish basketball. Attack the middle. Denver can't defend just like they couldn't defend versus the Lakers. They really about to get barbecued now. And a lot of us, I bet there were so many people at home thinking this Minnesota team is young. They going to allow Denver to get to a run. And they did not. They did not. They consistently attacked Jokic. They consistently played their game. Right here, guys willing to go down. Bro, all you have to do with Denver is be physical. And look again, another attack on Jokic, just attacking him head on. Attacking the paint. Jokic, good Euro step right there. He tried to keep him afloat. Attacking the middle right at Jokic. Jokic done. He can't eat barbecue chicken down there. I said this before the Lakers series, y'all. I was saying, what did I say? I said the Lakers need to consistently attack Jokic. Yep, but they're idiots. Good shot by Michael Porter Jr. right here. One of his few threes, man, but he was on lock all night, just like Jamal Murray was. Jamal Murray, man, I'm talking about horrible night for Jamal Murray. Horrible night for Jamal Murray. Naz Reid, bop. Spacing the floor, playing confident, playing fast. This Denver altitude ain't, I'm telling you, that Denver altitude is overrated. It only means something if you get there that same day. If you fly in a few days early, you won't notice a thing. Good spin move by Jokic, helped him get there. And Edwards right here. I don't care who you send, I'm barbecuing you. He talking crazy to him. He pointing at Reggie Jackson when he fall into his knees, man. This Denver team is done, man. They done. Good shot there by Holiday right there. They tried to make a run. They down 80-58 right here. Naz Reid attacking the middle of the floor consistently. Right, what are we doing? We get back in transition. Give me those. Come on, Alexander Walker takes it. Misses the three. Jokic throws it up. Porter's going to get a dunk right here. But you down 30. I'm talking about you down a hope. Did y'all hear the Denver crowd? I want you to ask you, did y'all hear the Denver crowd chant MVP for Anthony Edwards? Good pass right there to Bron. Uh-oh, but attacking the middle of the floor. Unselfish, get it to the weak side. Look at this, y'all. Do y'all see the difference between how the Minnesota Timberwolves moved the ball? And I want y'all to think back. Remember what I was saying about the Lakers and when LeBron James had the ball. No shade on LeBron James, one of the greatest players of all time. But this year particularly, when that ball touched LeBron James' hands, it stopped. There is no movement. The defensive rotation can catch up. Everybody's watching him, and then he dribbles the shot clock out just to do something that the entire defense can predict. We're watching this Minnesota team. They not wasting no time. Oh, I ain't got the shot swing. Oh, I ain't got the drive swing. And they moving the ball quick. They making quick decisions. There's something that college coaches tell all the players. Shoot, drive, pass within 1 second as soon as you get it. And it seems like they are utilizing that philosophy. We're not about to sit here and play with this basketball. We're going to keep this older Denver team scrambling around the court. You got Jamal Murray running around on a limp leg. You had Jaden McDaniel and Nickeil Alexander-Walker picking him up full court saying, we're going to test that knee. They probably bumped it. A lot of times what they do is when they know you injured at the NBA level, they not just going to pick you up full court. They're going to get up on you. He going to try to collide his knee with your bad knee. He going to do everything possible to agitate your injury, make your night rougher than what it actually is. And this is what they did. Picking him up full court. He gets no breathing room. And he was on clamps all night. Now, when y'all go to these different channels and y'all hear these different people on these different channels talking about, oh, Murray choked or Jokic. No, Jokic didn't choke. Murray didn't choke. This is called getting clamped up by a superior defensive team with an elite game plan. And a lot of teams have elite game plans, but this is also called elite execution of the game plan. I believe that the Lakers had an elite game plan, but nobody's going to give that coaching staff any credit for having an elite game plan. But they had extremely poor and dismal execution. The game plan worked well enough for them to get leads in every single game. Poor execution lost them those games in the fourth quarter because you got dimwits and you have no real closers on that team. This Minnesota team is a lot different. When you play in a team that's connected, boy, you better come correct or you're going to get embarrassed. And that's what's happening right now. You're getting ran out the gym in Denver, and your altitude was your only. That was the only thing you had in your favor to hopefully get an edge on this young team. Aaron Gordon bullies his way there. Holiday. Boom, knocks down the three, 90-70, cutting to the lead, but with 6 minutes on the clock, you ain't got enough time. And then, man, Towns, man, just knocks down another three. That was his third three right there. Another and one right there. Unstoppable. I mean, this KCP, all this stuff, all these people were talking about KCP's this elite offender and all that stuff. He is no longer that dude. Not when you got somebody willing to go attack him. And you got to be able to play smart and execute out of it. Attacking right here. Pull up. Testing that Murray knee. Can you defend? We got Jokic right here. They still down. They trying him out to come back. At least they playing it through to the end. Gordon with the three knocks it down. I mean, they trying, they fight. You got to give them something. They fighting to the end with 4 minutes on that clock. That clock is a demon. That clock is a demon in the fourth quarter, and that's what's happening right here. Anthony Edwards with the ball, dribbling it out, gets to the basket. Too easy. That Denver defense has always been soft. When you attack and you make quick decisions, and they even letting the bench guys get in. Salute to the homie right there from Iowa, man. Great player right there. I played against him a few times in some pro-am runs. Easy buckets, man. This game is a wash, man. Let's get to the stats, man. They got barbecued, man. That's crazy. Salute to the chat. Let me catch up with the chat, man. I see y'all in the chat. Said full court press like high school. Salute to Dante. Khalil says, and you got people saying these players don't play defense. That's the craziest thing about it. You got people saying we just literally saw 2-game stretch, probably some of the best defense that we've ever seen. Look at this score. Denver, one of the best offensive teams in the league, with Jokic, with one of the all-time great offensive players in this league. You just held them to 78 points in a playoff game in Denver. But I guess they don't play defense in this league today. But people would rather run around and say that, oh, Jokic choked or Jokic is a fraud, low-level basketball IQ, because what people don't want to do is they don't want to sit down and actually talk about what Minnesota did. This Minnesota defense came with an elite game plan. We're going to be physical with Jokic. We're going to send bodies at Jokic. And it didn't even matter. I know some people are going to say that Denver has the size. Yes, that does help. But even the guards are getting in there. We saw Mike Conley. Jokic got switched on to him. What's the first thing he does? Man, he mans up. He doesn't reach like D'Lo was doing. And he does get the foul, but the fact that everybody on this team, 1 through 5 on the court, they're willing to be physical with Jokic, and they're going to stick to the game plan. You are not spinning away from this middle. You're only going middle. And when you go middle, we got a whole bunch of help coming your way. And then there were some times where they had decoy sets because they would force him middle sometimes. And this is where Jokic was turning the ball over. And then you could literally hear Ant-Man on the court saying, stay home. If y'all were listening, listen on the court because they were confusing the Denver Nuggets. So Jokic didn't know when they were coming to trap or when they were staying. But there were some times where you would hear Ant-Man yelling, stay home, stay home. And then he would turn to that middle. He would think the trap is there. He would throw the pass just like he tried to Aaron Gordon in that first half turnover. Elite execution right there. Elite execution, man. Polar Bear in the chat says Mike Conley old as hell. He'll stay. He's still a solid player. No, older players is what you need because those are your vets. Mike Conley was talking about it before the game. He said sometimes these guys really ain't been in the playoffs enough to understand the gravity of this particular moment right here. He says they just out here hooping. So you need that leader to kind of reel them in and say, let's stay locked in, y'all. Let's stay locked in. Just like in game 1, it seemed like they got sloppy when they got the lead. But Mike Conley, as a leader, got to reel them in. Hey, y'all, look, let's get back to it. Let's get back to executing. Come on. This the playoffs. We can't mess around. It's over with after this. And the one thing is their body language. I want y'all to ask yourself, compare this series to the last series. Did you see any of the Minnesota Timberwolves players running around, moping around when things ain't going their way? Moping and no. Highly positive, good energy, good vibes, good bench energy. Man, you cannot be, you can't be that guy that sucks the life out of your team. And you probably got like 4-5 of them guys on the Los Angeles Lakers team. D'Lo, man, drawing, doing stuff, maybe on his phone, eating on the bench. AD walking out of huddles. Brian sitting at the end of the bench disconnected. AD talking about, blaming Darvin Ham or whoever you want to blame in the post game. Man, that old nonsense, man. Completely disconnected team. And if the Los Angeles Lakers, if they believe that a new coach is going to resolve all those problems, they got a whole nother thing coming. They about to be just as trash next year. Just as trash. All right, y'all. Let me get to this. Let me get to these stats for y'all. All right, let's get to Denver Nuggets stats, man. Denver Nuggets, man. We got Aaron Gordon on the night. Aaron Gordon. Solid night for Aaron Gordon, actually. Solid night for Aaron Gordon. 20 points on the night. Really, most of that was in garbage time. He shot decent from the field. Michael Porter Jr., man, the guy that, really torched the Lakers. But 9 points on the night, 1 of 7 from the 3. They did a good job of containing him. Great game plan execution on him. When he comes off those DHOs, these guys are attached to his hip. And if you watch how they're defending him, they're not just letting him break off free on those DHOs, right? They're using other players in help to jump those lanes, make it rough on him so he can't come off clean. And then the chase guy can recover. He's not really getting them clean looks off. Jokic, man, 16 points on the night. 16 rebounds to go with it, and 8 assists, almost a triple-double, but he was damn near ineffective, right? The stat line says one thing, but when you watch that game, Jokic was not very impactful or effective, man. He's a minus 16 on the night, 5 of 13 from the floor, man. It just looked like they once he saw that this Minnesota team was about to start brutalizing him on the offensive end, and he was the one that they were targeting. He was the one that they were picking on. See, he used to people trying to pick on KCP, and he ain't used to being the one that's getting picked on. They picked on Jokic all night, and he got barbecued in the lane. All right, too much going on. He does not have the foot speed to defend this quick team. You got Jamal Murray. This guy, right? Remember what I said, y'all. Remember what I said about Jamal Murray last year. I said he on a heater. I said all y'all people who are taking this one playoff series and y'all are trying to say this man is a top 10 in the NBA, top 15 in the NBA. I said, man, y'all need to take that take and throw it in the garbage can. There's a reason why this man Jamal Murray ain't never made an all-star game, and tonight was the night. 8 points, 0 of 4 from the 3 of 18 from the field. See, y'all thought this was an anomaly in game 1. But then we saw this game where he did even worse. This is in Denver. What y'all think he gonna do right when the odds are stacked against him and he got to go in Minnesota? And he's gonna have to have the game of his life. He's gonna have the game of his life if they trying to pull this one out. Caldwell Pope, completely ineffective. 2 of 6 on the night. Didn't make any threes. 4 points on the night. They really didn't get any production off the bench outside of Justin Holiday, who shot 4 or 5 from the 3. He essentially was their best player. But outside of him, no one had a productive night. I think the one thing that killed them was 9 of 30 from the 3-point line, and they couldn't do anything there. They only shot 3 free throws. They stopped attacking the rim. They started settling for a bunch of threes. And it wasn't really like they were settling. It was the turnovers. This team, they got forced into so many turnovers. 16 turnovers on the night and only 16 assists. What type of team assist to turnover ratio is that? I mean, 16 assists and then 16 turnovers. So the ball's not moving, and the ball's not moving because remember, this is one of the reasons why I said when I was talking about Michael Porter Jr., it's hard for me to say he's one of the better players in this league because his success is highly contingent on Nikola Jokic getting him those open looks. If Jokic ain't creating open looks for him, he is who we saw tonight, a 9.1 of 7 from the 3 type of guy. All right. But people like to overbloviate because these players can barbecue the Los Angeles Lakers and they think that these guys are good because they can cook LeBron James and the hapless Lakers. No, not every team in the league is just going to relent and break and fold the way the Lakers did and just give up games. This Minnesota team is on a mission, man, and it shows. Let's get to the Minnesota stats, man. And salute to Ace Sturdy in the chat, man. I see y'all in here. He says Murray hasn't looked good the entire playoffs. Yeah, I think something's going on with that knee. I think he rushed back to get to the playoffs. And like I said, the fact that the Lakers weren't able to exploit that, boy, the bonehead idiot players, they let this man with a bum knee hit 2-game winners on him. Come on. They should have been attacking him every opportunity that he could have got. We got Polar Bear Chad. He says, shout out to Rudy for becoming a new father today. That's facts. Shout out to Rudy Gobert, man. He had to miss this game. Baby on the way, man. So it's from what I'm seeing on Twitter, it looks like everything is solid. He's going to be back for the next game. When we get to the Timberwolves, you got Jaden McDaniels, man. Defensive monster. He was a defensive nightmare out there. Didn't have the greatest night, but he's out there for a defensive reason, and that's exactly what he did. 2 steals on the night, 5 points. Kyle Anderson, slow-mo's pace and some of the passes he was making, I think were elite. His rebounding and assist, so he was 9 rebounds, 8 assists. The way he can facilitate, right, and not get rushed when he gets to the middle of the floor. He has so many assists, attacking the middle, kicking it out to the opposite corner, making those quick passes to break down the Denver defense. Vital. A lot of people are going to look at his stat line and say, oh, he didn't do anything. He was one of the primary reasons why this offense was able to function at such a high level tonight. Salute to Kyle Anderson. Karl-Anthony Towns, man. The man showed up, man. He is one of the most underrated players in the league. He is to me one of the most talented players in the NBA. 27 points on the night, 3 of 5 on the 3, 12 rebounds, man. Completely dominated, man. He understood that Rudy Gobert wasn't out. He understood he was going to have to be an impactful player for them to win the game. He started the night off hot. He finished the night barbecuing this team, and they did not let up all night. Mike Conley, another solid night for him. 4 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Quiet stat line, but he did what they needed with regards to keeping this team calm and under control, not letting the lead get to their heads and making them play stupid. They played sound basketball throughout this game. And then you got Anthony Edwards, man, another 27 points, man. Just great game for him, 7 assists. And he is a one-man wrecking crew for this Denver team because Denver has no answer for him. Aaron Gordon tried. Y'all saw that possession where Aaron Gordon tried to sit low on the three-point line, and Edwards pushed him off. Come on out here. Yanked him twice, got to the rim, no problem. Barbecue chicken there. They're spacing the floor out, so Denver can't really send help. Whenever they send help, Ant's kicking it out. Guys are knocking down threes, so there's really not much you can do there. When you go to the bench, Naz Reid said, look, this series, I don't care who Jokic is, but he ain't about to bully us. They are being extremely physical. It started with Naz Reid. It started with guys like Karl-Anthony Towns. They understood with Rudy Gobert out there, they had to get the job done collectively, and collectively they barbecued Nikola Jokic, man. They made life miserable for him. You get another 14 points off the bench for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 5 of 9 from the floor, 4-7 from the three. That man is also between him and Jaden McDaniels picking up Jamal Murray full court, really testing that knee, making him work for everything that he got. I think we saw from when they got that big lead that Denver was not gonna have the guns, the legs, or the energy to mount a comeback to come with this particular team. They playing with too much fire, man. So I mean, salute to the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. Hell of a job getting that win in. Tackable Pond in the chat, man. He says the Wolves got depth. That is facts. They do got depth. Even if they got to do, but the one thing I like about the Timberwolves, and this is one of the things where I didn't like about Darvin Ham, is we know who the first two off the bench are going to be for this team. It's going to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and it's going to be Naz Reid. They're really not going much deeper than that. When you got Darvin Ham sitting here trying to sub in Spencer Dinwiddie, Taurean Prince, Jackson Hayes. He's trying to sub in too many players, right? Gabe Vincent. That's 4 guys already. In the playoffs, you don't need that many guys off your bench. Your rotation should be about 7, 8 max if you have to. 8 max if you have to. But sometimes you got to be able to go to these guys and say, look, you're not playing this series. We're going to tighten our rotation down. We need groups of 5 to be able to maintain some level of consistency so we can know what our style of play is. But when you start sending out these multitude of lineups, you got Spencer Dinwiddie and Gabe Vincent out there. They ain't been there half the year. Right? Then you mix in a Taurean Prince, and you mixing in all type. This is the playoffs, man. You got to stop playing around testing stuff. Go with the guys that got you there. It's okay if you don't play Dinwiddie. He probably not going to re-sign with you next year anyway. You got Gabe Vincent under contract. He ain't going nowhere. A lot of the guys on this bench, they ain't opting out of their contracts. They ain't played well enough this year. Quit trying to play so many players. It's stupid what they doing, man. He says, no Vando, no Woods. It hurt the Lakers. But even Tackable Pond, even if Vando and Woods were there, that would have made it probably would have made the series look worse, because that all that does is add 2 more players into the equation that Darvin Ham is sitting there trying to sub in. He did not have the wherewithal to basically say, look, we're only running 7 guys this series. He needs to go to his coaching staff and say, look, I don't know who that 7 is, but as a coaching staff, we need to collectively come up with the best 7 for this Denver team. And those are the 7 guys. They're going to help us get this done. We're not about to sit here and try to run 7, 8, 9 guys. That don't work, man. Look at what Minnesota did. Minnesota only really ran 7 guys. And not until the game got out of reach did they start bringing in Luke Garza and Jordan McLaughlin and things like that. Now they doing too much. They do too much. Kilo Bird said, that's facts, Lamont. So the Lakers played a series where Howard and McGee, thank you. Like when it was time for Howard and McGee to sit on that pine, Frank Vogel he said, look, appreciate your services versus Denver, but when we play the Houston Rockets, y'all gotta sit. This ain't for y'all. When we play this Miami Heat team in the finals, y'all gotta sit. This series ain't for y'all. And I feel like that's where Darvin Ham failed. But see, if you have these fans, these weirdo fans running around, talking about what Darvin Ham, he needs to sub more. They keep saying, he got the wrong rotations, or he didn't make the right sub. No, Darvin Ham, you need to stop subbing. Shorten the rotation down. You shouldn't be subbing so much. But this is what happens, man. This is what happens when I think Darvin Ham, what happened was he gave in to the pressure. I think he understood that if he didn't beat Denver, his job was on the line. He never could coach. I mean, you don't want to be coaching under those circumstances. I mean, you have probably multiple players with some type of mutiny in the locker room going against you. So now you battling the players, you battling the front office, you battling the media. They did not create they didn't create a condition or work environment for him to succeed. And by the end of that series, especially when LeBron James is jumping up and down like a little baby, pointing at the coaching staff, trying to get him to call a challenge, Phil Handy, Darvin Ham, Chris Jent, you look at their faces just looking up at LeBron. They always just looking up at LeBron like, what the fuck? If you don't take your ass back on the court, man, and just play, we got the lead. We gonna save it. And then, you know what they said in that game, in that last game, game 5? All right, LeBron, let's go ahead. Go ahead. Give him the challenge. We know we gonna win it. Lose the timeout. Now you ain't got no way to stop the clock when you really need to stop the clock. But hey, Brian, we challenged it for you. Complete and utter idiots, man. Complete and utter idiots. See, they wouldn't like me, Tackable Pond. See, because if I got hired into a job like that, right, especially when you're making that type of money and the stakes are that high, I'm not about to care if you my friend or not off the court. See, Darvin Ham's biggest mistake was being signed to Clutch Sports. That's like a conflict of interest right there. Because now you really don't feel like you can really get on LeBron the way you probably should. Boy, I'm lighting into him. You not getting back on defense? You running around crying about the refs? Boy. And look, if you talk to any of my players, this is one of the only times I'll yell at my players. And I really don't yell at them like that. I try not to. You running around getting texts and crying man, get your ass back. We barbecuing these dudes anyway. Why we talking to the refs, man? Get back. Who cares? Let the coaches handle the ref. Let the coaches get the texts. Just like Malone did. When the refs called a bad call, let the coach call the timeout. Run out into the ref's face. Let the coach handle that. Players, man, y'all need to get back. Oh, man, it's craziness. We're going to get to this Pacer game in a minute, too, man, because I think, man, Jalen Brunson, man. But this Knicks team, the more I watch this, he says, hold on, Dante says the Lakers need more size just like Philly. Man, the Lakers didn't need no more than what they already had, man. I'm tired of these excuses for the Lakers. The Lakers had double-digit leads in every single game. A 20-point lead in one of them. Man, if they got to stop crying and whining about the first thing that Laker fans and the Lakers need to understand is that they're financially in a situation where they can't get nothing. Not nothing of any significant value. They put themselves in a situation where they done pissed D'Lo off. D'Lo ain't going to do anything to help you succeed in the future. Your summer is screwed. Unless LeBron James signs for significantly less, you ain't going to have the cap freedom to do nothing. All this talk about getting Trae Young and getting these another star this summer and like somebody really want all these Laker draft picks is in the garbage cans. Y'all really think these teams are that stupid? Y'all really think these teams are looking to this Laker roster thinking that there's really something on this Laker roster that's really going to make them that much better? Laker fans got to be retarded, man. We got Ike in the chat. Chris Broussard, take minus retaining Ham. It's the best take about this. New coach won't fix this. And who even want the job? Exactly. Like, see, the thing is, you know why I would take the job? Because it's a good payday. See, what's going to happen is it's going to get to a point where the only coach that will take this job is going to be some new blood coach trying to get his foot in the game. So it seems like it's almost, when it comes down to it, the only person they're really going to have available to coach is somebody desperate to get back into the NBA because he's just trying to get them NBA paychecks. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have get somebody in there that says, look, well, it's 2 to 3 years of paychecks. So If it go wrong, at least I'll just do a good job of stashing away some money. It's not a good job. It's not a good job to have. Because the one thing you know, if you're going to go coach the Lakers, this is what's going to happen. If you actually win and have some type of success, you get no credit. Just like Frank Vogel won a championship, gets fired. Nobody cares. When you lose, it's all your fault. When a player gets injured, it's all the coach's fault. You mismanaged the minutes. Y'all hear the rumors in the media now? Oh, LeBron James, Darvin Ham, he wasn't strict enough. He should have kept LeBron to his minutes restriction. Everything is your fault when you lose, and when you win, nobody cares. Because when you win, it's all the credit's gonna go to LeBron James. Maybe AD gets a little bit. Who wants that job? And if they hire JJ Redick, you guys, I want you guys to sit back. And the clown show and comedy hour next year is going to start. Because if y'all thought this year was bad for the Lakers, if they hire JJ Redick, wait till you see what the season looks like next year. It's a complete and utter clown show over there. Y'all think I'm joking? Watch them do something dumb like that, man. Let me get to this Pacer game, man. I'm not going to bore y'all talking about these sorry-ass Lakers, man. It's nothing to talk about. And it's not because they got sorry players. It's because they approach to the game, the stuff that they doing, they're allowing things in the locker room to spill over onto the court. Right? Disrespect to the coach is complete mutiny. Man, the Lakers are a disgrace, man. Top to bottom, the Lakers are a disgrace. Complete and utter disgrace, man. They don't deserve to have a winning franchise right now. They don't deserve any star player on their roster. And think about it. What star player really wants to go be the third option for Bron and AD? Really, I want you to really think about that. What star player is willing to throw their career into the garbage can to go play with Bron and AD right now? I want y'all, if you know any NBA player that's not on the Lakers, I want y'all to go talk to them. The Lakers are the biggest laughing stock in the NBA right now. When Malone of the Denver Nuggets came out and said coaching and playing against the Lakers is easy, he is not alone in that. This is a common theme around the entire NBA. No, and you know, at one point in time, they might have feared LeBron James, but it's a very, and this is no secret in NBA. Actual NBA players, and again, one of these NBA players is going to come out and talk about it. They're going to come out and talk about it. Maybe they're out the league or something like that. But one of these NBA players is going to eventually come out and talk about what's being said around the league about this Laker team and how easy it is. Why do you think they struggle to beat competent teams? They could not beat a competent team. But we'll see. You guys will see, man. We'll see. Let's get to this Pacer game, man. The Pacers Knicks, man. This Pacer Knicks, Jalen Brunson, man, is a beast, man. I ain't gonna lie. I can't lie to y'all, man. Jalen Brunson is a beast, man. Another 40-point game, man. And then you got Josh Hart, man. This Villanova Trevo. How Jay Wright of Villanova don't got a job in the NBA. Boy, if I'm the Lakers, I'm looking at Jay Wright. I'm trying to start a rebuild, and you got to look at Jay Wright, man, because this man Jay Wright knows what the hell he's doing, man. Jay Wright, you got 3 Villanova players in this roster, and they all balling. They all making big shots, man. How did he create 3 hard-nosed players like this? And one of them is like a budding all-star. I'm not going to say Brunson's not a superstar. Y'all need to stop with that nonsense right there. He's not a superstar. He's playing of a superstar elk, but I'm going to define to you guys what a superstar is in this league. It's okay that he's not a superstar. He's an all-star caliber player. But he is one of the best guards in the league. But this superstar stuff, y'all got to stop. Josh Hart, man, knocks down a 3 right there. Man, this Knicks defense, this Pacers team, man, I love how they basically went into these playoffs and said, you know what? The playoffs are supposed to be slow and methodical. We still going to be the Pacers. We still going to speed the game up. And even a team like the Knicks struggled to score the ball this year. You got to score close to 120 points just to win this game. He said Knicks Wolves in the finals would be great. Man, I'm telling you, man, something about these Knicks is just special this year. Everything is just going their way. From loose balls is rolling their way. All of the challenges go their way. You know, everything seemed, they were down 6 points with a few seconds left versus Philly. Everything goes their way. They win that game. Everything has been going. It's like they the team of destiny this year. I don't know how they do it. It'd be certain nights where I'm just thinking like, the Knicks just can't win this game. Ain't no way the Knicks win this game. And then I tune into the game because none of us really start off watching a Pacer game. We always tuning in right in the middle of the game. Damn, the Pacers really in this game. I mean, the Knicks really in this game. They winning it. And then Brunson get the probe in the middle of the lane, knocking down shots, looking unstoppable. Man, this Knicks team is something else. We got EMA. He says Ant-Man is a superstar. No, he's an all-star. It's okay. He's budding into one, but he's not there yet. I mean, if we're being honest, there's only 1-2 superstars in this league, man. Ant-Man is not one of them yet. He's getting there, though. DiVincenzo, solid take right there. Look at the post up. Siakam, man, he's been tough, man. Great pickup for them, man. Pacers did a hell of a job. If you talk about a team that did a hell of a job at the trade deadline, really setting themselves up in the offseason for a massive trade, man, it was the Pacers, man. Hell of a job, man. You got to give kudos to that front office, man. Signing Bruce Brown, knowing that they're going to potentially trade him, understanding that they're going to go out there and they're really going to try to go get depth. Man, you gotta, man, the Siakam trade was just crazy, man. You gotta appreciate teams that's being smart like that, and they patient. You know, that's one of the things that bothers me about this Laker team and even Laker fans. Every time things go wrong, trade, let me trade to fix a trade. No, be patient. You can't win it every year. Develop players, develop talent. Develop some type of system and chemistry. You don't fire your coach every 2 years. Salute to the Knicks, man. See, and y'all see how the Knicks, even though they were down the majority of this game, they always stay close. They always stay close. They always know how to fight back, man. Down 2 points here to get out of transition. Jalen Brunson, man, just relentless player, man. Just knows how to consistently attack. One of the highest IQ players in the league, and I don't think a lot of people are going to give him credit for it. Man, they just know how to stay competitive, man, and it starts with their defense. And I like how Tom Thibodeau has basically taken the handcuffs off of them offensively and said, look, if you guys are willing to defend, I'll be fine with some of the questionable shots that y'all take. Josh Hart takes some questionable shots, some of them bad. Same with Brunson. But he lives with that as long as they're willing to go defend. So you got to give Tom Thibodeau, you got to give him some credit for growing as a coach, saying, look, I understand the team that I got, and I got to coach him a little different than when he coached the Bulls and some of the other teams. We got the black Bruce Wayne. He says, bro, Brian ain't dealing with no young guys, man. Yeah, I know. Brian ain't dealing with no young guys. Unfortunately, the style of play, and we'll get to the Lakers later, man. I'm not about to waste no time talking about they had one of the most disappointing playoff performances ever, man. I'm not about to keep talking about one of the sorriest players. Like I said, if you want to know what I thought about Brian, look at my community post. Like I said, he's still in the GOAT conversation. He's still one of the greatest. But this year was a complete and utter disappointment, man. And the fact that his fans are too scared to say anything about it, man, it's completely pathetic, man. The Lakers, man, one of the sorriest years in NBA history that I've ever witnessed, man. And the fact that we gave him that much attention is embarrassing. Got the Pacers right here. TJ McConnell, hard nose, gets to the rim. Finish right there. And the Pacers, like I said, the Knicks had every reason to lose this game. They were down the majority of the game. Josh Hart, man. Josh Hart had 17-11 at the half, man. Josh Hart, man. Josh Hart ain't good at – he ain't great at any particular thing. He's just good at a whole bunch of stuff. And he's one of the most hard-nosed players in the league, man. He just knows how to work. And it's these types of players, man, that once you start adding them, boy, and DiVincenzo, why did the Warriors let that man walk? How did the Warriors let that man walk? Aaron Nesmith right there, man. Another young guy, man, drafted by Boston, man. Monster dunk over Mitchell Robinson right there. Neesmith, man, tough fadeaway. I love Neesmith, his game out of Gonzaga, man. He's a solid player. Look at Brunson right here, the patience. Man, get the ball up, man. He knows how to probe. He knows how to use his body. He understands he ain't the quickest player, but he knows how to play them angles and use his shoulders to get his shots off whenever he wants to. Josh Hart, man, misses it right here, but one of the best offensive rebounding guards in the league, one of the best rebounding guards in the league, could have been an end run right there, gets the ball back, puts it in, the Knicks stay in the fight right here. And this is where the Pacers get a little sloppy towards the end of the game. They're up 1, 4 minutes left. Siakam knocks down the shot, but again, they got sloppy late game. You're up 5 right here. I would call a timeout and say, look, we got to win this game. What do we got to do to win it? But you can't really defend that no better than he defended it right there. Brunson, man, just knocks down a tough shot. 109, 3:18 on the clock. Pacers get sloppy. OG Anunoby, one of the best pickups in trade at the trade deadline, man. Does what he does best. He defends, gets the layup on the other end. You saw Marbury in the stands. You saw John Starks in the stands. Man, this Knicks team is just a team of destiny. And Brunson, man, a dagger right there. Put him up 4, 2 minutes to go. Now it's time. Look, I'm going to pause this right here. Now, I'm going to pause it because we get end game. This is the end of the game, all right? When you're at the end of the game, and this is one of the things I was talking to my buddy. I was talking to somebody else about this. I said, when you're in an end game situation, the one thing you need to know, if you don't have anything organized on your team with regards to substitutions, the one thing you need to know is who is our closer. When the going gets rough, who is going to be our closer? Who's going to help us seal the deal at the end of games? We all know that Jalen Brunson is the Knicks closer, right? He is the closer. He's going to make everything go for this team late game. Let's see how they execute late game. Pacers break out on the break right here. Siakam, man. Look, Siakam, he's the closer. Him and Halliburton are the closers. They're going to close this game for the Pacers. Man, great handle right there. Way to attack. Get to the basket. Neesmith, tough finish right there. Underrated guard right there. Way to get in there. Brunson with the ball right here. Brunson ain't doing nothing else with the ball. Give me those. Turn around. I'm closing the game. I am Brunson with the ball. Neesmith, you too little. Kicks out DiVincenzo with a nasty dagger. If y'all going to overcommit, I'm going to trust my team. Swings it. They up 3, 39 seconds on the clock. Man, these Villanova guys, man, they ain't got no conscience, man. They just out here proving everybody wrong, man. They proving everybody wrong. Knicks got the ball right here. Ooh, Knicks, and man, boy, the Knicks almost got themselves in trouble on this play right here. They held on to that replay right here. They held on to that replay, and the replay got them out of the jam right here. But it definitely went off of Aaron Neesmith's, not Neesmith, but it went off Nemahar's foot. So the refs got this one right. He said the ref stole that Knicks game. Yeah, I didn't like that call at the end. You got to bite your whistle. You know, if you're the ref, I know. I was on my run, y'all. I was on my run when this game was on. And I'm actually watching the game. I know I was watching the end of the game. And when I saw that screen happen, I literally yelled out, like, why the hell are you even putting yourself in a situation where the refs can call that call late game? I mean, you're supposed to set all ghost screens late game just so the ref can't call nothing. I mean, you set all ghost screens late game, and that's what really cost them. And Miles Turner, I mean, you don't go set that screen. Don't go set that screen. Knicks win this one 121 to 117, man. 121-117. Let's get to the box score. For the Pacers, man. Pacers, hell of a performance, man. One of the most balanced teams in the NBA. Siakam, 19 points. Neesmith, 12. Turner, 23, even though he had that gaff at the end. Nembhard, 11. Halliburton, only 6 points, and I think that might have done them in. I mean, if they're looking to win a game on the road, if they're really trying to win games on the road, they got to get more out of Halliburton in a game like this. I mean, I don't care how you slice it. I know some of these other guys stepped up, but Halliburton cannot have these disappearing acts, man. 2 of 6 from the field, only 6 shots. If you Halliburton, completely unacceptable. 2 of 5. And remember, out of those 6 shots, 5 of those were threes. And that means you really weren't aggressive in attacking. I mean, he did have 8 assists. He also had 4 steals. But when you're looking at a game of this magnitude, these others on this team are really looking to the stars to shine, man. They're looking for the stars to shine, man. And it's his job on this particular team to be that guy. He was not that guy tonight. Topping with 12 points off the bench. T.J. McConnell with 18 points off the bench. When we get to the New York Knicks, OG Anunoby, 13 points. Hartenstein, 13. Jalen Brunson, man, 43 points. 14 of 26 from the field. Josh Hart, 24 points. 13 rebounds. 8 assists. And 3 steals. And then DiVincenzo, man, 25 points. They really did not get much off the bench. But you know what? Tom Thibodeau said, I'm not subbing that much. Tom Thibodeau left 5 guys DNP'd. He only played 3 guys off the bench. And Mitchell Robinson only played 12 minutes. Right? It's playoff time. What coaches is out here going substitution crazy with their bench? They tightening the rotations down. And they not about to sub crazy like that. They tightening the rotations down and not about to go crazy subbing, man. But, man, you got to give credit where credit is due, man. The Knicks just look like a team of destiny this year. 39 points in the fourth quarter to come back and snatch that game from the Pacers. I blame that game. I don't really want to blame that game on coach or anything like that. I think that was just all youth. I think that's inexperience from a Pacer team that hasn't been in the playoffs a ton. A whole bunch of these young guys are playing big moments. And you would have to look to Siakam or anybody, man, saying, look, when you got to lead the majority of the game like that, Siakam has won a championship. I mean, Siakam's going to have to ultimately understand, I can't just be here to hoop. I have to be a leader. I have to let these guys know this is the playoffs. Now we in an in-game scenario. It's time to close the game. And they can't treat these games like regular season games. And that's what ultimately cost them the game right there. We got Black Bruce Bain says, you said it before I could type it. That was a hard loss. He said, I like the Knicks roster. Hey, man, I love this Knicks roster too. Now, this Knicks roster, I do that every time. I tell myself that this Knicks team is missing something. Every time I try to convince myself that they're missing something, they go do something that I didn't think they could do. Every time I try to convince myself that they ain't good enough, they go win a game or playoff series I didn't think they can win. I was thinking that Joel Embiid would shine and look like the MVP versus the Knicks. Brunson was the best player in that series. Brunson is an all-star. He's a bona fide all-star. Now, what was I saying? When I said before he's not a superstar, Jalen Brunson will never be a superstar. That's not a knock on Jalen Brunson. But I'm going to tell you why he will never be a superstar. Here's the reason why he will never be a superstar. And y'all, and look, it's pinned in the chat, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App. Support the channel, man. We're going to be doing these. We're going to be doing these post-game shows. We're going to try to get them doing 3-4 times a week. So make sure y'all hitting the Cash App to support, man. We are going to run this channel up, FYF Sports Clips, and we're going to run it up till we monetize. We're going to run it up till we get the memberships over here, right? And I know I got all of that turned off on FYF Sports because that channel over there is sponsored. But we're going to be running this channel up, and we're going to get this channel off to the right start, man. This channel will be monetized with the memberships and all of that. So when I talk about superstars, you guys, with Jalen Brunson, the reason why I say Jalen Brunson will never be a superstar is not because talent. He's going to have a ton. We've already seen some. He's going to have a lot more in his future. He's going to have a ton of performances that are superstar caliber performances. But he will never be a superstar player because I feel like superstar players are players where once you give them that superstar tag, they always have it no matter how good or bad they play. Kobe. Once Kobe got the superstar tag, I don't care about the Kobe we saw at the end of his career. He was still going to be a superstar because of who he was as a player, because of who he was as a performer, persona, how marketable he was, how likable he was across the globe. Michael Jordan was the same way. Jordan, even with the Washington Wizards, was a superstar. It didn't matter how poor he played. Didn't matter if his team made the playoffs. Him getting labeled a superstar, nobody was going to be able to snatch that label from him. When you look at a player like Isaiah Thomas for the Boston Celtics, the man was averaging close to 30 points per game at one time, barbecuing everybody, playing like a superstar. But as soon as he got hurt and his numbers fell off, people snatched that title from him. Damian Lillard at one point in time, barbecuing everybody, one of the most clutch players in the league, knocking down game winner after game winner. Some would argue that he was a superstar at one point in time. But as soon as his play waned, they snatched that title from him. People right now as we speak are trying to snatch that title from Giannis Antetokounmpo. Nikola Jokic right now as we speak, down 0-2. People are already calling him a fraud, trying to snatch that title. If they can snatch the title from you as quickly as they gave it to you, you are not a superstar. When you are a true superstar, the title sticks no matter what. I don't care how bad Kobe played. He was always going to be a superstar. Same with Jordan. Same with LeBron. Even same with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when he played. Even the same with Magic Johnson. The same with Larry Bird when he's running around with a broke back. When you are a superstar, once that title is given, it is never taken away. And if it can be taken away, you are not it. You know? So people just got to understand, man. I know people, we live in a day and age, y'all. We live in a day and age where people like to claim anybody is a superstar, this, that, and the other. No, it's not. No. Not a superstar. He's not a superstar. He can play like a superstar or be a superstar talent at times. He's not a superstar. And again, salute to everybody that's pulled up to the stream today. We going on 1 hour and 16 minutes, man. We didn't cover the first game of the day, or we covered the second game of the day. And like I said, man, I'm just so surprised at the quality of basketball that we seeing with Giannis Antetokounmpo's at home, Joel Embiid's at home, Bron and AD at home, Steph Curry at home, KD at home, Devin Booker at home, and the quality of basketball still ain't fell off. It might have even elevated because a lot of these guys that we want to see in the playoffs, they old. They washed up. They can't give you the effort and energy that we're seeing out of some of these young stars. And I want you guys to imagine. What is this going to look like when Victor Wembanyama starts to make the playoffs? When the San Antonio Spurs start making the playoffs and he start battling. All these people like Jason Whitlocks and then all these guys talking about, oh, it ain't no face of the league and the league is in trouble. Man, they sound stupid. It's a reason why Jason Whitlock is always talking about the NBA. It's a reason why he's still talking about all these players. All these people that's acting like if LeBron leave, the league in trouble. No, it's not. Tonight proved it. Watching Anthony Edwards play, the Minnesota Timberwolves are one of the funnest teams to watch in basketball. Do y'all know how many people are going to convert to being Minnesota Timberwolves just in this year? Yeah, next year, y'all how many Minnesota Timberwolves streams we about to start seeing just based on how Anthony Edwards is playing? Just like we say, just so many fanboys of LeBron. There's about to be a lot of fanboys of Anthony Edwards coming up. And rightfully so, man. The man is playing out of his mind. And that Minnesota Timberwolves is playing solid as well. Salute, man. We got Christopher in the chat. He says, Lamont, it's why you doing the live so late? I'm just running this live so late because this is a post-game show. I'm going to try to do them earlier, but I want to do these post-game shows. I got some other topics I'm going to be covering as well. So some of those topics, I might not do the live so late, but just like I said, man, we're going to try to run this channel up. We're going to try to run this channel up to at least 5,000 subs. We're going to really get to work to get this channel monetized. I know my original channel, FYF Sports, that channel obviously is sponsored, so I don't turn on the monetization or memberships. I want to run this channel up so we can do all of that on this channel. Salute to So Crazy TV. You got Dante in the chat says, Whitlock just needed views. He doesn't care what he says. I know. Whitlock just does chase titles, man. He is a title chaser, right? But Whitlock's time is starting to really come. The network that he's on now, it's just a matter of time before they let him go because Jason Whitlock has made himself so unlikable to so many different communities. I think even the white community, the community that he panders to the most, I think they getting tired of him. You know, I don't get why he panders like that. I don't know why he didn't just stick to having a whole bunch of bad takes in sports. At least he could have just been known for being the one trash analyst that always has a whole bunch of bad takes and hates LeBron. But now that he's starting to stick his nose into politics and all these other things, it just kind of makes him look stupid. And then now he just has a channel where it just seems like whenever a white athlete does something good, he over glorifies it. Whenever a black athlete does something he don't like, he over exemplifies it. He's kind of pathetic, man. He's running around. Caitlin Clark is hooping, rightfully so, but he's going crazy with it. Right? He going crazy with it. He's trying to take it to a whole nother level, tries to turn everything racial. All right. He's an idiot, man. He's an idiot. But like I said, he's over at a network and he's on a channel where, again, nobody really cares about him. So we just leave Jason Whitlock where he is, man. But look, man, we got both of these games, man. Salute to everybody that pulled up for the stream tonight. Like I said, I'm not trying to have these streams rocking out too long. I'm going to rerun this over on FYF Sports in the morning. But like I said, man, I appreciate you guys coming over here to this channel. The main focus is we're really trying to run this channel up. We've gained a ton of subs just by being live tonight right here. So we're going to keep it going. We're definitely going to be live over here tomorrow as well. Like I said, so I'm going to try to get a consistent time where I go live, so at least you guys know when to expect me live over here. Most of them are going to be these vertical lives as you see now. We're going to keep it rocking, man. But again, I appreciate you guys. Got a lot of stuff for you guys tomorrow. We, may switch it up tomorrow. Go with one of the more traditional talking points. But like I said, the main goal is really trying to expand. Really trying to add a new element to this, and we got to just get back to the basketball talk. I feel like I've been spending too much time talking with people who are extremely casual and don't really understand the game, when we could just really rock out over here and just talk real basketball. And that's the ultimate goal. Salute to Dupree in the chat, man. Dupree in the chat, man. I haven't seen you here before, Jason. He says Jason also messed up when he started to mess with Tommy Sotomayor. And Jason, nobody needs another Stephen A. Smith. You're right. I think Jason Whitlock talks about Stephen A. Smith too much. Like, we all understand who Stephen A. Smith is. We know what to take with a grain of salt. We know what not to take with a grain of salt. We know when he's being serious, because let's not act like it. Let's not act like Stephen A. Smith hasn't had some good takes. I don't know if Jason Whitlock has ever had one single good take. Like when Stephen A. Smith was talking about the Darvin Ham situation, I agree with them. It was an unpopular opinion, but I agree with them. That was a good take. Another thing that he says, he was surprised that LeBron James did not stand up for Darvin Ham. I said that as well. I said, even if you know he's going to get fired, the fact that none of y'all stood up for him, nobody said a word, y'all let this black cat hang around the organization all year, whether it was Darvin Ham, whether it was with D-Lo, whether it was with Austin Reeves, y'all let all these black cats hang around in the organization, and not one player came out and addressed any of it. Not one player came out and tried to connect the team and keep them. They just let everything get toxic. And I think everybody was doing it so at the end of the season they could go point blames. It wasn't me, it was him. It wasn't me, it was upper management. It wasn't me, it was the coach. A whole bunch of people pointing blames. Complete idiots, man. Complete idiots over there. I mean, the Lakers this year was a prime example of what not to do with your organizations. And it doesn't help that the Lakers got one of the stupidest fan bases in sports. And what makes the Laker fan base stupid, y'all, is this. You have the traditional Laker fan base. They're like spoiled white kids because the Lakers are just used to getting any trade that they want. They finessed whenever they're bad. They're just normally used to finessing some team. They trick Charlotte out of Kobe Bryant. Here, take old ass Vlade Divac. He has one All-Star year left. Take old ass Vlade Divac for your lottery pick. We got Kwame Brown. You take Kwame Brown. Like, come on with Gasol. And then let's not even get back to all the trades that they did to get the players that they got for Magic Johnson. it got so bad that the league had to create a rule to stop the Cleveland Cavaliers from trading all their number 1 draft picks to the Los Angeles Lakers. And so now that they no longer can finesse, like this first offseason, teams was trying to finesse the Lakers. Oh, y'all need us now? Oh, if you want DeJounte Murray, give us D'Lo, Reeves, and a first-round draft pick. Come on with all of that. And if the Lakers think it's going to get any sweeter in the offseason, it ain't. So they in trouble. He says, my dad used to call Laker fans reincarnated Cowboy fans. And I think Laker fans are worse than Cowboy fans. They're worse than Cowboy fans. Because at least Cowboy fans will turn on their own players, but they won't turn on their own players like Laker fans. I've never seen a player work as hard as Austin Reeves and then get hated as much by fans. And the reason why is because now the Laker fan base is now mixed in with a whole bunch of the LeBron James fans. Now, some LeBron James fans are sensible, but that's like a 10%. You got a 90% of LeBron James fans that are completely stupid. And what I want y'all to think about this, Khalil. I want you to think about this, Khalil. There's 90% of these LeBron James fans. They'll run around talking about how he's the GOAT. They'll tell you about how he's the GOAT. They'll tell you about all his stats. They'll tell you how about he one of the best performers in NBA history and he's still at 39 barbecuing people. He's still all that. This is what and then what happens is when they lose, they try to pretend like they didn't just tell us this was one of the greatest players of all time. And when he starts losing, when he starts getting barbecued by everybody, oh, it was Austin Reeves. Oh, it was D'Lo. Oh, it was Spencer Dinwiddie. Oh, it was Darvin Ham. Hold on. I can swear the last time you opened your mouth, you was telling us this was one of the greatest things since sliced white bread. And you telling me when you got a 20-point lead against the Denver Nuggets, he can't complete the job? This guy that you done rambled and talked about. He greater than Michael Jordan. He greater than Kobe. He the greatest thing all we asking him to do is close a few games. But just to close a few games, you telling me that he don't D'Lo and Reeves and Anthony Davis ain't enough. He need a better coach. He need a better perimeter player. They need another big man. They need all this stuff. So they'll tell you about what this so-called great player needs. He needs this. He needs that. He needs that. The last time I checked, great players don't need a whole bunch of stuff. Great players, when you're talking about generationally great players, if you are a generationally great player, if you attach that player just along next to one other good player, that's all they need. But see, if you be honest and you just admit that, okay, he's 39. He's not the same. His game no longer has the same impact. It's okay. But at this stage in his career, LeBron needs to be a 2 or 3 option. Which is why every time this year when he played like a 2 or 3 option, they would barbecue teams. Did y'all notice this year whenever he played like a number 1 option or played like he was still the man, they were losing or they were playing in tightly contested games that always came down to the wire? This is all facts. What do you mean stop it? KC, ALB, NAM. He said stop it. No, I got LeBron James as number 2 all time in NBA history. But at this stage in his career, you are no longer winning significant playoff series basketball games with him as your number 1 option. How do I know this? Well, I literally just watched it happen versus the Denver Nuggets. where LeBron James played like a 2 or 3 option for quarters 1 through 3. And when they handed him the ball in the fourth quarter and said, go close this game out for us, he couldn't close the deal. Dupree says, I knew LeBron was in a real teammates after how he did J.R. Smith on that last play. Yeah, you're right. What Dirk did in 2011 was impressive. You are right. What Dirk did in 2011 was impressive. You are right. Both those things are right. No, what I believe though with J.R. Smith was, okay. Let's just be honest about that play. A lot of us would have been pissed if we were on the court. I mean, if there was any play to give a player a pass or any game or play, that would be the game to give him a pass on. So let's say we scratch that. Like I said, when I'm talking about LeBron James and my criticism for him, it's strictly about this particular season. Right? And when I knew that the Lakers were in deep trouble the moment LeBron James, when the game was tied 99-99, 17 seconds on the clock, 11 seconds on the shot clock, LeBron James gets away with a push-off, sends his man flying to the ground. Jokic is actually walking away from the rim, back to the rim. The only person that could have defended or stopped LeBron from getting to the rim and dunking the basketball was Jamal Murray, and we know he wasn't doing anything. And when LeBron James just stopped, picked up his dribble and shot that 3 with no recognition of time and score, I said, oh, he just glory chasing. He just want the moments. He ain't trying to win. Because the winning basketball play would have been to get the ball to the rim. If you miss, you got the best offensive rebounder in the game at the rim in Anthony Davis. And you also put extreme pressure on the refs to call a foul on any contact. Salute to H from the UK, man. H from the UK says, you talking facts. He says, Braun lost them game 2 and in the third. Look, man. H from the UK, the only thing I can do is I can tell you guys what the film shows. The film showed me when I watched this man late game is still tight-knit on the line, and you've been barbecuing this Denver team just like we saw with Minnesota. You barbecued him with ball movement, quick passes, and post entries to Anthony Davis. But then all of a sudden, late game, you got LeBron James dribble, post up. He tries to turn middle, turns the ball over. KCP slaps it. I said, bro, you ain't playing winning basketball. I said, you looking for the glory. You looking for the glory plays. Because this is the same game where D'Angelo Russell gave you 7 threes. When you making that same stupid ass post up, you know what? You know did you guys see who was wide open? D'Angelo Russell. When LeBron James shot that 3 with 17 seconds on the clock, did y'all see who was wide open standing right next to him? D'Angelo Russell. We didn't see the next pass. If you're going to make the winning play, make the winning play. Recognize time and score. But see, the problem with LeBron James fans and even some Laker fans is when I say time and score, they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. When you under 2 minutes in a basketball game, everything is time and score. The way you play the game changes. Even when you're open, you have to now second guess any shot that you take when you're playing under time and score principles. And because there was no recognition of time and score, you leave too much time on the clock because you can't defend and you're not connected on the defensive end. Jamal Murray walks AD into an ISO spot and just gets to a spot because let's not act like AD played that right. AD should have pressed up on Jamal Murray. The clock is winding down. You press up on Jamal Murray. You make him put the ball on the floor. If he drives by you, you got significant help loaded up. He can't pass it. Not enough time on the clock. But the fact that you're playing off of him to contest the jumper, I tell my players, if you cannot touch him in the chest, he's wide open. If you can't literally stick your hand out and touch him in the chest, these guys are wide open. You need to be close enough to where you can touch him in the chest. But see, this team is full of a whole bunch of people that want to do it all on their own. They don't trust anybody. They didn't even trust the coach. It was a mutiny against the coach. This Lakers season was one of the most embarrassing basketball seasons for an NBA team ever in NBA history. Because the fact that they played so bad that people are really questioning if Austin Reeves is a good player. People really are questioning if D'Lo's a good player. People are so stupid. People would run if you didn't look at the numbers, you would believe D'Lo averaged 8 points, 19 turnovers, and like 2 assists a game. D'Lo had his best season of his career this year. Let's say that again. D'Lo had the best season of his career this year. Let Laker fans tell it he's trash. H from the UK says, do you think Bron's lack of creativity and in-between game is a factor? No. H from the UK. Because Bron has a lot of creativity and he has a great NBA in-between game. Bron, they lost because it's simplified. Let's just simplify it down. Let's not even complicate it because basketball, just like Bron said, let's just use Bron's words. It's just basketball. Right. It's just basketball. And when we summarize what you did, LeBron, that was just selfish. That was just you glory chasing moments. That was basically you saying if we win these games, we're gonna win these games because of the play I made, because of the shot I made. He says Dupree says the Timberwolves probably watched the Lakers take instead of the Nuggets to see the Timberwolves are playing the exact same way the Lakers were playing for 3 quarters in almost all of those games. The difference with the Timberwolves is they're sticking to the game plan late game. And they actually have a leader on this team to where when they start going outside of the game plan, they have somebody that can reel them back in so they get back to the game plan. Because in that game 1, they got sloppy. They started making mistakes. And then there was a point in time where I was like, dang, Minnesota might fumble this game away. But when you have great leadership and you're connected and there ain't no mutiny against the head coach, it's easy to reel guys back in and say, hey, let's just lock back in. Let's do what was working. Let's win this game. But when you got guys with attitudes here, guys not wanting to run the play here, it's sad, man. We got CC Motion 1998. He says they should have ran the offense through AD because bro. But you know what that requires? CC Motion 1998. See, Bron wanted to run the offense through AD, but Bron wanted to do it his way. So if you look in the fourth quarter of those games, Bron was trying to get AD the ball, but he wanted to do it his way. Oh, let's run this Spain pick and roll that never works. And let's let AD post up and let me try to dump the ball into AD from the post from the top of the key. Not me. I don't want to swing it to the wing and let them pass the ball to him. A much better post entry. I'm going to throw a top of the key post entry, the worst pass in basketball, try to force it into AD, late shot clock, let them load up on him and make him take a tough shot to the end shot. That's not even AD's game. AD's game is rely. When AD's great in the post, it's because quick pass. AD in the post, quick move. Not no dribble, pick and roll, stare him down for 3 seconds, trying to angle the pass off, throw the pass in, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Now AD has to shoot with no other bailout options. Complete stupidity, man. But see, nobody wants to tell the truth. I want y'all to do this right here. Whenever and I'm going to exclude one in particular, Empire Jeff TV, and even Lakers in 5. Let's exclude them too. Any other Laker content creator, especially the ones that are not holding LeBron James accountable for this entire year, I want you guys to watch how much film they actually play. When y'all go to their chats, I want y'all to say, hey, can you play the film from game 2? Can you show the film from game 3? Can we see what went wrong? They don't show film. A lot of them will talk your ear off about what went wrong. A lot of them will run to the stats and say, oh, this guy shot 2 of 9. He played bad. Complete idiots, man. Complete idiots, man. Like, I wish the Lakers had a coach on their staff like a Rasheed Wallace, somebody who could cuss LeBron out and got him right earlier in the season. But he had no checks. There were no checks and bounds for him this year. There was no Pat Riley type presence. There was no Jared Dudley type presence. There was no Rajon Rondo type presence. It was none of that. Maybe if there was a Magic Johnson type presence. But even Magic Johnson started kissing LeBron's ass at one point in time this year. And even he started blaming D'Lo and them. So I don't even know if Magic Johnson would have helped. So I just think we deal with complete idiots too much in basketball. And it's like I said, man, it's time to just get, when you know somebody's talking real basketball when they do film breakdowns. When they break down the film. When you could break down some film. The Laker fans are running from the film this year. Because in my community post about LeBron James, the first thing I said was, my opinion is completely based on the film. This ain't no personal vendetta or attack. Do y'all realize that Laker fans blame D'Angelo Russell? They basically summed him up to having a bad season based on a 10-game stretch. A 10-game stretch through the months of December where he played bad. And because of that month of December, they make it seem like he had a whole entire bad year. Austin Reeves started the year off poor. Primarily because he was coming off U.S. Olympic basketball, his legs were dead. They summarized Austin Reeves had his best season of his career this year statistically. But a lot of Laker fans will make it seem like he was the worst player on this team. And he was one of your best players in the second half. Mind you, against the Denver Nuggets, he was one of your best defenders on Jamal Murray. He was one of the reasons why Jamal Murray was so ineffective. But because he struggled with his jump shot, probably because he had to guard Jamal Murray, people said he was trash. Salute to T Streets, man. T Street says, it's not about X's and O's anymore, only narratives. That's the sad thing about it. You know when they exposed themselves, T Streets? Whose show was on? It might have been Locker Room Show. When I was on, I think I might have been talking to Locker Room. When I went on his show. Because I had just heard LeBron James talking about defense on his show with JJ Redick. And he was talking about defense and the way they were breaking it down because they were referring to the Lakers versus Denver. He basically explained it in a way that exonerated D'Lo and Austin Reeves. He was talking about how they defended him last year in the playoffs. He was talking about where the breakdowns were happening. And he actually said that the breakdowns last year were because of him and Anthony Davis, not because of D'Lo and Reeves, because of what D'Lo and Reeves were asked to do defensively. And so when I went to the Locker Room Show, I said, LeBron James created this podcast to teach people the game of basketball. So you didn't run around with these complete trash takes. And he did a great job of breaking down what they were doing defensively versus Denver and why D'Lo and Reeves weren't the culprits. And you know what he said? T Streets, he said, I don't care. He said, F that podcast. I said, so you initially said you were extremely happy for this man, LeBron James, to have a podcast so he can expose these people. But now that he has a podcast, you're not willing to take the information that he's saying out of his own mouth because it goes against the narratives you've created in your head because you can't envision talking a game of basketball where you actually say LeBron James did something wrong or he's accountable. You can't envision that. Everything that I thought I saw on the court that was D'Lo and Reeves' fault, it probably was LeBron and AD's fault defensively. Not because anybody else said so, but LeBron James out of his own mouth said so. I want you guys back. I think it might have been episode 2 or 3. I can't remember the exact episode. And I said, that's sad. I said, y'all run around, y'all call him the GOAT. And when he admits that he was the one at fault versus Denver last year, you can't accept it. You can't accept it. sad, man. But that's what basketball's come down to. Khalil Burton, that's what basketball's come down to. That's how pathetic it's getting out here in these streets. So when I think about these film studies, and A30 tells me all the time, man, he loves the film studies. And, you know, a lot of times I shied away from the film studies because whenever I did do the film studies, the views was just down. No viewership. People didn't really care to watch. And so it's just like, it's hard to consistently do them. But like the more I listen around YouTube, it's like, I'm just going to have to force this information on the people. I'm just going to have to put so much out there that people can't refuse to watch it. So, you know, it is what it is. Also thankful to God. Salute, man. I like that name. He says, facts these streets, even in the NFL, man. He says, no player is perfect. I don't see how people get upset at the thought that LeBron makes mistakes. There's nothing wrong with admitting it. And that's how I feel. It is what it is, but the mistakes were made, and those mistakes came with a heavy price this year. But mistakes were made. You know? And it is what it is. So that's why I hate it when I see when I see so many people in this basketball community, they hold everybody accountable. They hold Giannis accountable. They hold Joel Embiid accountable. Joel Embiid running around with a neurological disorder in his face twitching, bad knee. They still said he choked. You know, Giannis injured. Giannis and Damian Lillard both injured. They still saying they choked. I mean, Steph Curry's team has been completely decimated. They didn't even have a real center. Klay Thompson's a third of himself. They still said he choked. All these other star players around the league get 0 passes. In they situations, and none of these players got an Anthony Davis sitting next to him. None of these players got an Anthony Davis and a D'Lo and a Reeves sitting next to him. Which makes it even crazier, man. He said, the film study shows your basketball knowledge. Most of these dudes are dumb. That's why I don't like to come on paddles. I know, man. So that's what, Khalil, my main thing is, I think that, I do like the panels, but I gotta cut down how many people are on the screen. I want to get everybody up. I like having the large panels, man, with sometimes 10 people up there. And I may very well keep that format. But the level of stupidity that we hear, and then the people who are the loudest be the dumbest. The people with the loudest microphones and the voices be the dumbest. And it's just sometimes I literally be having my finger on the end stream button, just ready just to end the stream, without saying nothing, no outro, nothing, just end it. I think that I did that one time on FYF Sports. I did it one time on FYF Sports. But that's just, it is what it is. So, but one of the main reasons is, I said, if we're going to do the film studies, I want to make sure that content is at least monetizable. So I really want to filter this channel with all that content. So we'll be doing all of it over here. Our season is ended. Our season ended on a positive note, right? So now I can lock in on these types of videos, man, and run this channel up. The goal is to run this channel up to 10K subs. Right. Make sure I get this monetization active over here. I actually had the monetization active over here. Then the monetization got taken down. They said it was reused content. So I can reappeal it. I'm eligible to get remonetized over here again. I just have to get my 4,000 watch time hours again because I left this channel inactive for so long. So the main thing is just grinding out. Let's get these. I can do 4 or 5 live streams over here. I can get to 4,000 watch time hours ASAP. Boom. I'm already at like 1,000 watch time hours in like the last 4 days. So if I just knock out some lives over here, we'd be eligible to go back, monetize, get the memberships and everything over here. And I know YouTube has another algorithm once you get monetized, so they'll push your content even a little harder. But I'm gonna actually do a live here tomorrow. It's not gonna be basketball related at all. But I discovered something, and I think I might have figured out the secret sauce as to how YouTube goes about shadow banning channels. I think I figured out how they shadow ban channels. There's a lot of information that I researched and figured out, and I think I caught YouTube being sneaky. And before I corrected it, I'm going to correct everything live. When I go live tomorrow, I'm going to correct it. But I'm going to show you guys how YouTube will shadow ban channels. There's a lot of information that I just uncovered. And it's not what you guys think. I think I caught them red-handed. And I got the evidence on my channel. He says, do your thing, my guy. Make you get some sleep and vitamins. Yeah, always, man. Always. The sea moss, man. The sea moss is going. Actually, did shoulder workout early today. My shoulders are probably going to be on fire tomorrow. I don't even know if I can lift them tomorrow. Killed my shoulders today. Got my sea moss, my cayenne pepper going. Magnesium and vitamin D. I'm going to try to do it. It's probably going to be tomorrow. Well, see, I'm on Pacific Standard Time. So I want to do it before the games come on. So if I do it before the games come on, it's probably going to be like 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep. He says your main channel is definitely shadow banned. It's kind of shadow banned, but it's kind of not shadow banned. It's not really shadow banned because like on my shorts feed goes crazy. Anytime I put something on my shorts feed, it goes ballistic. I mean, I got like 4 shorts right now going crazy. I might have got like 25 million views just this month alone off like 2 different shorts. So I have identified that there are 3 different algorithms. And those algorithms are completely separate. So like if you subscribe to a channel because of a short, the only thing you're ever going to see from that channel is their shorts. You're not going to see their main videos. They're not going to show you those. You're not going to see their lives when they go live. If you sub to a channel because of the shorts, they're only going to see the shorts that you post. Right? But if you sub to a channel because of the lives, you're only going to see the lives. And then if you sub to a channel because of the uploads, you're only going to see their uploads. So that's why a lot of people like Fresh and Fit did it. They separate their channels. They have a clips channel and they have their main channel. So they try to separate them. They don't put their shorts on the same thing. There's a reason for that. I mean, you can do all 3 of them depending on how big you get. Like maybe somebody like Mr. Beast can get away with that. When you're a smaller content creator, YouTube is never going to tell you these things. But it was something I found out about YouTube over the last 24 hours that's going to blow you out mind. And I figured out how and why they shadow ban. How they shadow ban people. I'm going to show you live on air. I'm going to show you live on air. And so for me, my lives do really well and my shorts do really well. But for some reason, when I do my video uploads don't be hitting like that. And I'll be like, why are they going so slow? Why they ain't getting no traction? I'm talking about my lives. Like when I start going live, when I go live consistently on my main channel, I can easily get 10,000, 30, 40,000 on average. Once I start going live and I get that algorithm jump started like a lawnmower. Shorts go crazy. Boom. I just dropped a short last night. It's already at like 40,000 views. So, I did drop an upload today though. Make sure y'all enjoy it, man. It was Legend of Winning. He exposed locker room, man. He caught him being hypocritical. He went and got the receipts, man. Exposed it. We got to do on FYF Sports. We got to drop a video if you do something like that. You get exposed to that degree. So we had to drop a video. He said, I'm looking to start a channel. Can you do a live on SEO and hashtag? Hey, Ace from the UK, I'm going to do all that tomorrow. I'm doing all of that tomorrow. I actually got a video on this channel already about SEO and hashtags, but I need to do another one, which I'm going to do tomorrow. That's going to update it. And I'm actually going to do that video here on this channel right here. I'm going to do it on this channel. And then I'm going to republish it on FYF Sports. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing everything over here on this channel. And then I'm going to just republish it over on FYF Sports. So at least those people can have that same content. But I need to make sure it's on this channel first. So, but I actually learned something just over the last couple of days about SEO and hashtags that's going to blow your mind too. which is crazy. He says, you better be careful exposing YouTube on that video. Treat it like, nah, I'm not. I'm gonna go ahead and let the beans out. I'm telling you, Khalil, I got them dead to right. Like, Khalil, when I show you this tomorrow, you're gonna be like, damn, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. And it's in a sneaky way. It's in a sneaky way where they trying to play like they trying to protect you. They trying to protect your channel, but they not. Sneaky, man. YouTube is slick, man. YouTube is slick. But see, you got to realize, Khalil, that this is really all started happening. If you notice, Khalil, it really, like, I'm sure they do this in different sectors in different ways, but I'm primarily talking about the sports sector, especially channels that talk basketball. And if you have a sports channel and you primarily talk basketball, I need you to check the same thing that I'm going to show you tomorrow. Because once YouTube signed that agreement with the NBA, where the NBA now has the NBA TV, YouTube now has a reason to send all its viewers over to as much NBA content as possible. Right? This, like, what YouTube noticed was that people don't really care to watch Sports Center, First Take, Undisputed anymore. But they will go to a Ticket TV. They will go to a casino. And so what they ultimately start doing is now what they've done is now what they're doing is they are creating a way to start slowly trying to force the NBA content back on you somehow. And the only way they can force people back to the NBA is if they make sure that you can't see the sports content creators. I'm going to show you how they do it. Yeah, I'm actually gonna set that live stream up tonight so you guys can see exactly what time we're gonna get started. But that live is I'm telling y'all. Now, some of you guys, just like I said when I did my last SEO video, I said, this video probably ain't gonna get a lot of views. I said, I'm gonna tell you guys. And I said, some of you guys are not gonna care as soon as the video's over with. And there's gonna be about 5% of you guys that take the information and go address it immediately. I caught them dead to rights, man. I caught them dead to rights. So, I mean, look, share the video. I mean, when I create it, share it. If you really want the content out there, share it, do whatever. And I can do videos about this every week if you really need me to, because YouTube really think they slick. See, they think they slick, but they can only be slick to a certain degree. They can only be slick with some people. But see, I be looking at too much. I be comparing. I be analyzing stuff too hard. And this ain't no casino conspiracy theory stuff at all. This is really understanding what they can and can't do, and where they have their vested interests, and what's the sneakiest way for them to do things on YouTube that help their vested interests. It's crazy. But look, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up to FYF Sports, man. We over here on FYF Clips today. Like I said, but we're going to try to rock out over on this channel until we get monetized. The goal is, look, let me run another channel up, 10,000 views. We're going to still keep the other channel over there, FYF Sports, super active as well. You may see some of the content over here repurposed over there. If you do see it over there, just give it a like, man. Do whatever you got to do. It's just a little tad bit of engagement, but I really want you guys coming over here to FYF Sports Clips. Look, FYF Sports, man, another great podcast episode, man. We're going to be back with more sports and news. Until then, man, it's FYF Sports.